hello, you're all welcome to today's class. And in today's class, we're going to be considering a topic titled Further Examples on Indices. I'm continuing from the previous class. Now, here I have my topic, Further Examples on Indices. Now, example says I should simplify the following. Now, so this is the first example here. I will simplify the following as to simplify 2 raised to the power of 3 times 1 over 6 all raised to the power of minus 1. Now, so solution. According to the laws of indices I gave in the previous class, I think we are going to be applying them in solving all these examples. So, for example 1, now I have solution. I have 2 raised to the power of 3 times 1 over 6 raised to the power of minus 1. I'll have it to be equal to 2 raised to the power of 3 times. Now, 1 over 6, according to the law of indices, same thing as me having 6 raised to the power of minus 1. So here I'll have 6 raised to the power of minus 1, all in bracket, raised to the power of minus 1. Now, back to the law of indices, I say if I have a power, all in bracket, raised to the power, raised to the power of something, I'm going to multiply the powers together. So looking at this now, I'm going to multiply minus 1 times minus 1, which is going to give me 1. So I'm going to have 2 raised to the power of 3 and times 6, because minus 1 times minus 1 is 1. So I'll have it as times 6. So here I'll have 2 raised to the power of 3. 2 times 2 is 4. Then 4 times 2 is 8. So I'll have 8 times 6. So my final answer is going to be 48. So that's this. With this, I'm done with the first example. Now, the second example, B, now says I should still simplify A raised to the power of 3, then I have B, then all raised to the power of 4. Now, according to the law of indices, if I have something like this, I have to use the power outside the bracket to multiply the power inside the bracket. Now, using the power outside the bracket to multiply the powers inside the bracket, I'm going to have A raised to the power of 3 times 4, then multiplied by B raised to the power of 1 times 4, because here I have just B. So B here is same thing as B raised to the power of 1. So looking at it now, if I multiply 3 times 4, is going to give me 12. So here I'll have A raised to the power of 12 times B raised to the power of 4. So my final answer will be A raised to the power of 12, then B raised to the power of 4. So this is my final answer. So I'll move to the third example. So for the third example now says I should simplify 16 over 81 divided by 81 all raised to the power of minus 3 over 4. So if I'm solving this now, solution, I'll come to this side. If I'm solving this, I'm going to have 16 over 81 all in bracket minus 3 over 4 is equal to, now I have minus up, that's the power is negative. So as a result of that, I can say 1 over 16 over 81, then close the bracket, I'll have 3 over 4. Now, in a situation where I have 1 over 16 divided by 81, if I want to bring it to the normal form, to normal fraction, I'm going to have it as interchanging it. 81 is going to go up and 16 is going to come down to avoid having negative sign to the power. So to avoid having negative sign to the power, 81 will go up and 16 will come down. So I'm going to have it to be 81 over 16, then all in bracket 3 over 4. So from here now I can finalize it by saying, according to the law of indices, that if I have 81 over 16, then I have all raised divided by 4. All I just need to do is just to say 4th root of my 81 over 16, then all in bracket raised to the power of 3, according to the law of indices. So from here, if I'm looking for the 4th root of 81, 4th root of 81 is 3, while 4th root of 16 is 2. So I'm going to have it to be 4th root of 81. I'm going to have it to be plus or minus 3. Then divide by 4th root of 16 is going to be same plus or minus 16. So the plus or minus will stand for the both. So plus or minus 2. So I have all in bracket raised to the power of 3. So I'll come down here, plus or minus is going to be my answer. 3 raised to the power of 3 is going to give me 27. Then divide by 2 raised to the power of 3 is going to give me 8. So my final answer is going to be plus or minus 27 over 8. So with this, I'm done with this very question. So now I'll move to the next question. So the next question now, that's D. It says if I have square root of 72, a raised to the power of 3, b raised to the power of minus 2, then all divide by 2, a raised to the power of 5, b raised to the power of minus 6. Now, if I'm being given this question to solve, first thing first, solution. I have square root of 72, a raised to the power of 3, b raised to the power of minus 2, divided by 2, a raised to the power of 5, b raised to the power of minus 6. I'll have it to be equal to. So first of all, I'm going to divide the coefficient of the alphabet. So the coefficient here is 72 and I have 2 here. So I'm going to say 72 divided by 2, which I'm going to have 36. So here I'm going to have it to be square root of 36, then multiplied by, here I have a raised to the power of 3 divided by a raised to the power of 5. So I'm going to have a raised to the power of 3 minus 5, then multiplied by b raised to the power of, here I have b raised to the power of minus 2 divided by b raised to the power of minus 6. So I have b raised to the power of minus 2 minus bracket minus 6. So from here I'll have it to be equal to square root of me having 36, then 3 minus 5 here, I'm going to have minus 2. So I'll have multiplied by a raised to the power of minus 2 times b raised to the power of minus 2 minus minus 6. So minus minus 6 is the same thing as plus 6. So I'll have my plus 6 minus 2. So plus 6 minus 2, I'm going to have 4. So b raised to the power of 4. So from here now, square root of the entire what I have in the bracket, I'm going to have it to be 36 raised to the power of, that's plus or minus 36 raised to the power of 1 over 2 multiplied by a raised to the power of minus 2, all in bracket, raised to the power of 1 over 2 times b raised to the power of 4, all in bracket 1 over 2. So from here I'll have my final answer to be plus or minus square root of 36. I'll have it as 6 multiplied by, here I have 1 over 2. So if I multiply it, these 2 will cancel 2. So I'll be left with minus 1. So I'm going to have a raised to the power of minus 1 multiplied by b raised to the power of, here I have 4 multiplied by half. So 4 multiplied by half is same thing as 2. So I'll have b raised to the power of 2. So my final answer I'm going to say is plus or minus 6b raised to the power of 2 divided by a, because a raised to the power of minus 1 according to law of indices is same thing as 1 over a. So this is my second to the last example. So I move to the final example. Now for the final example, I have, that's example E. For the final example, I have 2a raised to the power of minus half is equals to minus 14. So first thing first, I need to divide both sides by 2 to make a subject formula because I'm looking for a. Now, so dividing both sides by 2, I'm going to have here divided by 2, this divided by 2, this cancel this. I have a raised to the power of minus 1 over 2 is equals to minus 7. So the next thing is a raised to the power of minus 1 over 2 is same thing as me having, or I can just say let me divide, find the reciprocal of both sides. So if I'm looking for the reciprocal of both sides, I'll have this to be equal to 1 over a raised to the power of a raised to the power of minus 1 over 2 is equal to 1 over minus 7, because I'm looking for the reciprocal of both sides. The denominator will still carry the minus sign to the power. So looking for this, I'm still going to have this. So a raised to the power of, that is 1 divided by a raised to the power of minus 1 over 2 is same thing as me having a raised to the power of minus 1 over 2, all raised to the power of minus 1. So I have it to be equal to 1 over minus 7. So me having this minus 1 times a raised to the power of 1 over 2, I'm going to have it to be a raised to the power of 1 over 2, because minus 1 times minus 1 over 2 is same thing as plus 1 over 2. So it's equal to 1 over minus 7. So for me to remove the square root or the square root sign here, the 1 over 2 here, I have to square both sides. So by squaring both sides, I'll have a 1 over 2 all squared is equals to 1 divided by minus 1 over 7 all squared. So squaring it, I'll have my a is equal to minus 1 square is same thing as 1, then divide by 7 square is 49. So this is my final answer. I have this. So thank you very much for joining us in today's class. You can do well to join us in the next class. Thank you. Have a nice day.